Hey, what's going on? It's Gary from FitnessFirstNutrition.com here back with another video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. He was assassinated, rest in peace, on September the 9th. I'm sorry, September 10th, last week. I haven't really said anything about it. I've watched a lot of people's takes on it. I've watched a lot of outrage in both directions. Some people paint him as a saint. Some people paint him as the devil. I personally haven't heard him say anything devilish or really racist. And he may have misspoke sometimes, but for the most part, I mean, I really didn't get anything racist from him. He also did a lot with black people, spoke with black people. He never really said anything particularly disparaging, unless he was talking about DEI and some of his rhetoric when speaking about DEI. I can see how somebody would take it the wrong way, but I mean, I don't think it deserves some of the backlash that he's been getting. So we're going to speak about it, and we're going to tune into a couple videos and see what people are saying about him. But I want to start off with, in fact, we'll start off with this Don Lemon video. He's doing a man on the street interview with a woman, black woman. Let's see.
It's just messed up, totally messed up. You know that was messed up. Like, nobody deserved that. He definitely didn't deserve that. He was a good guy.
You think he was a good guy?
I think he was.
Only Kirk
Good morals.
Captain Kirk.
The what?
The only Kirk you recognize is Captain Kirk. I don't know Charlie Kirk. I don't know who
You
that
don't know who it is?
I don't know that.
I know who it was. Like,
I only know about him.
all of us have flaws. I can't really tell you what to believe in or how to feel. Like, everybody's having a human experience. Like, why knock him for having this human experience or what he believe in?
Even though even though he says things that are anti-women, black, all that.
I can't judge him for that.
You can't.
I can't judge him for that. But I can use judgment. He didn't deserve that.
Right.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah,
you are very spiritual.
You know, yeah.
You
I can't
sound
go
like,
left. I can't go left with that.
No, you sound like, you mean left,
Yeah,
not left.
because I'm
right.
humanity. I'm humanity and love first.
No, I love that. So the first person I spoke to here didn't want to be on camera, and he said, I can't judge him because I'm not God. And so let him, whatever the reaction is, if the government wants to give him a...
So Don Lemon is a piece of shit. Don Lemon wanted a negative reaction. That's why he went up to a black woman, and he thought he was going to get a cliche. He was racist. He's the devil. I'm glad he's dead. That's what Don Lemon thought he was going to get, because Don Lemon has already kind of let us know that he seems kind of happy. When he first spoke about his death, he was like holding back a smile. He's this weird guy, completely just liberal, just uncompassionately, unapologetically liberal. Now, the sad thing is that in a time like this, you would think that, hey, we can put our political differences to the side and agree that just for your speech, you don't deserve to be shot in the neck and murdered. You would think that. But, Don Lemon is a different type of guy. He represents, unfortunately, I'm not going to say a lot, but more than I would care to see of people who feel this way about Charlie Kirk, that he deserved to be taken away from his family. And people never really think about that. This is just crazy. So Don Lemon obviously tried to lead her in a certain way, which would have her give him an answer that he wanted by saying, oh, even though he was anti-woman and anti-black and blah, 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 which is not the truth from what I've seen. If you've seen videos that prove that he's anti-black or anti-woman, feel free to send them in. I don't want to see any DEI ones. He obviously didn't believe in DEI. I can't really fault anybody for not believing in DEI. That's his opinion on something. So let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Now, that was him being painted. That's actually a mild video, but that's him being painted by a hater. That is the dark side. That is the negativity that is spewing out since he's passed. Now we're going to go to the other side, where they're going too far in the opposite direction, where they're trying to make him into Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm hearing we should have a Charlie Kirk Day. I'm hearing that Charlie Kirk, they should make a Charlie Kirk Boulevard. No, we're going too far with that. It's really unfortunate what happened. Maybe in his hometown, maybe he gets to the Charlie Kirk Boulevard, but not just random places. They're comparing him to Martin Luther King. He's not Martin Luther King, man. He's not Martin Luther King. This is absurd. White people are taking this too far. White people are acting like when BLM came out. This is their BLM. This is them going BLM. Like I didn't like BLM. I don't like this. Overreaction. You don't often get black men murdered on large scales by police. You don't also get even less white people murdered by potential political opposition. Like it just doesn't really happen at all. But let's see what Glenn Beck has to say. Glenn Beck loves him. Glenn Beck
we must stop calling Charlie anything other than a civil rights leader. We need to plant that stake deep. It is time that we point out that what he was doing was not politics. What he was doing was trying to stand up for people's civil rights, to show people how a civilization is not a civilization unless you can have a dialogue with people who are diametrically opposed to you, that don't believe anything that you believe in, and yet you can have a civil dialogue, and how important that is. That's our civil right, our right to free speech. And that gunman was trying to take that right away from him and from you and everyone else. Shut up. You will be silenced. You will not say those things. And there has been a force in this country to try to convince people that you don't have a right, that you have a responsibility to silence others. You don't. In this country, one of our main civil rights is we can express ourselves the way we feel we need to express ourselves. And I'm sorry, if you don't like it, you have to just take it and then say, I'd like to have a discussion with you on that. I'd like to know how you got there. I'd like to have the opportunity to argue against that. And you have that right to argue against it. And hopefully, if we are...
So, Glenn Beck, conservative. Glenn Beck thinks that he's a civil rights leader, and he's not. Martin Luther King was a civil rights leader, so obviously he spoke up for civil rights, or the right to free speech. We already have that. There's no fight for that. He's not a civil rights leader. Martin Luther King was a civil rights leader. He fought for the end of racial segregation. Some people say it's a good thing. Some people say it was a bad thing. There's an argument for both cases, but either way, he fought for the end to discrimination. He fought for the right to vote. He fought for integration, just having black people integrated into schools and society of America, which we live in with the other people that live here as the majority. That's a civil rights leader. He went on marches. People were hit with hoses. People were bit by dogs. Those were civil rights. Come on, man. Like, it's really a shame, honestly, that he was assassinated. But we cannot turn him into the second coming. Like he deserves to be mentioned. If people want to do a moment of silence, fine. If people don't want to do a moment of silence, that's also fine. Like it's they don't have to. Like, it's not that, you know. But I want to know what you guys think. Like, are you team Charlie Kirk? Do you think he was a racist? Do you think that Charlie Kirk was evil, or do you think that he was a great man, a civil rights leader? What do you think about Charlie Kirk? What are your feelings on him? Me personally, he wasn't my favorite. Wasn't really my favorite person to listen to. I would listen to him sometimes. I've never heard him say anything racist. He said things about black people, but black people think when white people say stuff about black people that the white person is racist unless they praise them. No. So he was a white man with an opinion on multiple things. Sometimes homosexuality, transgender, Christianity, black people, DEI, politics, so on and so on and so on. He was cool. I listened to him sometimes. He wasn't my favorite person to listen to, but he was cool. He had some cool points. He was a little heavy on the Israel thing for me personally, But again, he was cool. They're paying him out now. I've heard so many people say since he's passed it. I haven't heard none of this talk while he was alive. That they assassinated the 2032 president. Like he was going to be president in 2032. Like I've never heard this. And just to prove how fake this is, so it's what 2024 now. So I mean not now, but the last president of 2024. So the next president is going to be 2028. In 2028, they want a Republican to run. I mean, obviously conservatives want a Republican to win, so they want J.D. Vance to win. What president goes in there and plans for one term, especially somebody as young as J.D. Vance? So how do we go from J.D. Vance being the next president, which would obviously be for 8 years, or if it wasn't for 8 years, then a Democrat would take over because the incumbent isn't going to just leave after 4 years. It's going to be whoever is president running against whatever the opposite party is. So that debunks all this fake shit about he was going to be the 2032 president. Come on, man. I get it, but I don't get it. Maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not in touch enough with my emotions to get wrapped up into it and spew things that I don't truly believe. Because a lot of these people don't truly believe these things. If they were saying them before he passed, then cool. But it's not the case. Maybe he had ambitions of running for president one day. However, nobody's foresaw him being president one day. He did have a big conservative movement going on, and that will live on. Turning Point USA, he was not the sole owner. He was part owner, founder of Turning Point USA, and that will continue, and we will continue to have conservatives, you know what I'm saying. And one of the things, before I get out of here, that I think is dangerous about this is now we have the Republicans talking about we got to fight back and fight against evil, and this, you see how we're being attacked, and then you have the Democrats on the other side, and they say that they're being attacked and they're being targeted, and now we have two different groups of people who are saying that they're being attacked, which will lead to what? More than likely more violence, you know. And I think both sides are stupid. Yeah, not every person on both sides, but everybody who is saying that they're being attacked and that we need to go out and fight, and we don't need to fight. We don't. And it's being said right now on the conservative side, but there has been a lot of that talk on the Democratic side for a while, from Maxine Waters to I don't know, Joy Reese has a lot of dumb things. I don't know if she said anything in particularly violent. They had a montage of, and I can't find it. They had a montage of just like the Democrats saying all types of. Can I find it? Because Jasmine Crockett, she went on to the Breakfast Club and said that she challenges anybody to find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence, and then obviously the internet does what the internet does. And let's see what we got here.
What kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism, is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
Country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country."
So that's just dangerous rhetoric. It's demonizing people. When you're calling people Nazis, I mean, who's going to feel bad about killing a Nazi? So when you paint somebody with that brush, it's really just kind of opening it up for somebody to become a vigilante and try to take justice into their own hands and do things like what allegedly Tyler Robinson did, because he's not admitting to it. He was turned in by his family. That's could be a whole nother video as far as Tyler Robinson is concerned. But we got Nancy Pelosi.
All over the country, maybe there will be.
Yes. So,
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something
These are
about your
Democrats.
dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if he lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
they're going to have to. You hear what that man just said? That was the clip I was looking for the first time. It goes on for another minute or so, like that. So that's the dangerous rhetoric on the left, and now with Charlie Kirk, this happening to him, and now on the right galvanizing and now feeling attacked, although this was an isolated incident. Now they're starting to speak how the people on the left are speaking, and it's just going to lead to a bad situation. I believe Ray Dalio, I have to re-listen to that Ray Dalio interview that he did on Diary of a CEO, where he said civil war is incoming, and that was before this happened. He has a whole 80-year cycle type thing that he goes through, and we are, ironically enough, in the 80th year right now, when he says that typically a empire kind of starts to collapse. But anyway, let me know what you think below. This video is kind of hard to put together. I'm really annoyed by all of this, to be honest with you. So let me know how you feel. Again, I'm Gary from fitnessfirstnutrition.com, and I'll see you in the next video.